He should have won the 1997 Mr. Olympia. He easily beat Dorian Yates, and Dorian got the win for his number 6. And I think Nasser was really never the same after that.
Could Nasser beaten all these guys?
Easy.
You're having too much fun with this one.
They're not in the same class with him.
After my victory, and I remember people talking about he ate like 3 pieces of cheesecake, and it was 3 weeks from the show. And I remember he did like 2 or 3 hours in one session on the bike at Gold's Gym Venice that next day. And I remember someone telling me, yeah, he's on the bike for like 3 hours.
Being a robber and robbing someone doesn't take that much effort. The only thing that robbers have to look out for is being caught doing the robbing. Imagine you're at the downtown subway waiting in line to hop in a train. If you was encountering a robber, they would ensure that they pickpocket your items as quiet as possible. So just picture that they didn't even try to silently steal your items, but took that shit right in front of your face, full eye contact. That type of robbery is called a blatant robbery, and this guy right here had the biggest blatant robbery in bodybuilding history. Nasser Sonbaty without a doubt had one of the biggest robberies in the entire world. Robbing is bad, but blatantly robbing, doing it without a shame, is just completely disgraceful to Nasser Sonbaty's reputation. But the true question is, why was Nasser badly robbed by the IFBB without any explanation for his second placing at the Mr. Olympia 1997. In this video, I'll be sharing my views on the Olympia, debating on if Dorian Yates truly deserved to win the year, So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, which helps my channel escape the back rooms and pop up in people's feed pages. So let's get it. So before we can get started judging Nasser Sonbaty and Dorian Yates one-on-one at the Mr. Olympia in 1997, let's just get a backlog of these two amazing characters and their reputation in the bodybuilding genre. Starting with Dorian Yates. Dorian Yates is an English bodybuilder who is very known for his high-intensity training of training 4 times per week, codes in which he got from Mike Mentor and Arthur Jones. This training style surely did spike the full genetic potential of Dorian Yates to pack on loads of size through his experimentation. Dorian Yates paved the way for the mass monster era, whereby size was favored more than aesthetics. During this mass monster revolution, there was literally no one who could go one-on-one with Dorian Yates and beat him, besides Flex Wheeler, who at that time wasn't aware of his max potential of defeating Dorian Yates.
Flex Wheeler during that time was a human specimen. Like, he was the LeBron James of bodybuilding. You looked at his physique and you're like, how does this make any sense? But he himself didn't psychologically think you were beatable.
Well, that's the advantage that I had over him. I had a little bit more mental tenacity. Probably Flex had more natural talent than me, because let's say that I did everything and I achieved 100% and like my effort and dedication, and so I got 100% of my potential fulfilled. We'll never know, but let's say for argument that I did, I would say that Flex probably maybe did 70%, because he might break his diet a little bit.
Would his 100 have beaten you?
Very possibly.
Meaning, could you have won a single one if Flex was 100% there?
We'll never know, but I did say when we were competing together, I said, like, if this guy did what I do, I have a real hard time beating him. Because I know
he did what you did.
Yeah, if he did what I did, if he had my brain, my approach, my dedication.
His reign only meant that he could only be beaten if his physique was badly wounded. And this is when Nasser came in. Nasser Sonbaty is a very smart individual who slightly followed the same path like Mike Mentor of being an intellectual. Instead, Nasser was a professor who who always did well with experimenting his physique, like Dorian Yates.
And these are mostly my wheeler products. And here, the two Okabe's tapes, Road to Olympia 97, Road to Olympia 96.
Are you a distributor or?
No, just mine.
You just use for yourself?
Whatever I need, I take here my carnitine, my magnesium, my amino acids, just come to my own store.
Nasser was extremely open about the corruption of the IFBB and his drug use, which would make him one of the most hated athletes within the federation, but this hate didn't transcend to where he got banned like Lee Priest due to exposure of IFBB politics. Just to summarize it up, Nasser knew the game and he knew how to play the game, meaning that he knew what physique to present at the Mr. Olympia 1997. The show day arrives and Nasser shows up at his all-time peaked. Bro was literally the golden freezer final form and presented a physique which 98% capability of beating Dorian Yates, but sadly the Dorian Yates Nasser was expecting didn't show up. Dorian Yates during that year had suffered a tricep tear, minor quad tear, distended guts, obliques hanging off his shorts, horrible tan, and a grainy face, in which Dorian had no chance of beating Nasser that day. Dorian Yates scores a perfect score with one of the most beat down PS2 looking graphic simulator physiques and takes the overall title. There's two possibilities of why Nasser didn't win the #1 title, and one of them is that Nasser isn't a really favored bodybuilder at the IFBB and was seen as a threat to the brand if he was the face of the Mr. Olympia that year, since when Nasser wasn't seen as an associate of the IFBB, instead a rebel of their hidden works, in which was a prediction that Nasser would be a bad person to pave the way of bodybuilding that year. Number 2, Dorian Yates actually did beat him in posing that year. So let's take a look at a little comparison, judging if whether Dorian Yates' physique was actually presentable to a point where it made sense that Nasser Sonbaty lost to him.
Commercial break.
So going back at this comparison of Dorian and Nasser Sonbaty, now we're gonna be comparing if whether Nasser had some flaws to where his loss was actually fair. So overall, we're going to be judging the Titan physique, judging panel way, where, just looking at, whether this whole thing was fair or not. So looking at this front lat spread, bro, like Dorian Yates literally kills it because his lats are still unbeatable. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we can ignore the torn bicep there, but those lats, those wings are still on point. And so was Nasser came in with good condition. You can see those cut lines, absolutely W. The quads, they fuller, more rounder. Dorian Yates' quads, they look like they're missing some parts. They don't look pretty full and complete. But yeah, this is my views on this picture. Let's move to the next one. The back pose. Man, Dorian Yates, it's like there's nothing I can say about this. Oh, god damn, hold on, iPhone problems. Bro, oh my word. I'm not looking at his ass. I'm looking at this guy right there. That's a massive gut right there. But, okay, Dorian Yates back, it's so the best of all time. No doubt. His traps are literally about to explode. You know, nice good shoulder, you know, development. You know, you can even see the Christmas tree back there, you know, which Nasser doesn't have as much. Damn, this iPhone. Nasser doesn't have as much, you know, lower lat activation, lower lat development, and that is due to genetic factors. So let's just say Dorian Yates is just genetically gifted with the back pose. Oh my gosh, having iPhones are problems. Hold on. Boom. Both competitors walking down stage, and yeah, man, we all knew that. Yeah, man, this guy is cooked. You know, we can literally see the obliques hanging down those posing trunks, and you know, we get Nasser right there looking cut and diced. You know, and you can clearly see that he's not trying to hold his breath to suck in those abs. Those abs are just naturally carved by marble. But the quads are looking detailed. It's just, he came in with a good package. As for Dorian, man, it's just like his hand, bro, is just goddamn deflated, bro. Like he looks like death. Oh my gosh. Hopefully you didn't see anything of that. But he looks like death from regular show, where it's like his other arm is bigger because it jacks off a lot. But yeah, let's move on to the next picture. Oh my gosh. You know, people do say that Dorian Yates in this picture, the bubble cut took everything away. But personally, I still think this picture, it still goes hard, you know, because his lats, his V taper is so broad. Here maybe his obliques are, you know, they look like them love handles, but you know, it's still, this pose still looks dominant. You know, it still looks dominant. Maybe there could be a more a deeper separation in the abs, but it still looks dominant, this pose. And the back, yeah, man, Dorian still wins the back, you know. Yeah. And the side pose. You know, all I can say is that Nasser had way more cut, detailed abs, like shredded, you know, shredded. Also, you know, I feel like bodybuilding, what really plays a huge factor is how you display your body to hide your weak points. So somehow in this picture, Dorian Yates doesn't look as bad due to the stance and position. But yeah, man, this picture looks pretty sick, pretty iconic. And you get Mr. Nasser there smiling confidently, knowing that, man, I'm about to take the title, boy. But yeah, the back pose, already know that Dorian Yates kills it. And yeah, the biggest controversial topic. Are you kidding me? Yeah, man, Dorian Yates is just completely finished here, man. He's like, this was a miracle for him to win. You know what I mean? Though his bicep was completely deflated because previous years he had a bicep tear, then he had a tricep tear in the same arm, which completely killed the hell out of that arm, and he just lost pure, you know, roundness. And yeah, man, it's, you can even see his face, man. He's just like, man, I'm cooked, bro. I can't take these no more, man. But boom, we get Nasser over here pumping the iron before the show. Nah, I'm just trying to sound like Arnold. But yeah, looking pretty full. This is a different show. Yeah, he's wearing red trunks. Yeah, but yeah. Then we have Dorian Yates being handed over the Mr. Olympia title, and yeah, man, these two, man, they know, like, bro, it's like what in the world have I done, bro? Like, but yeah, man, I just personally feel that Dorian Yates is such a loved person that, you know, they love him so much that they just wanna give him the title because they care about him. So no hate to Dorian. The side chest, I don't even know why he kept posing, man. That physique was just, bro, what was the point of posing, bro? It's like, the fuck, man? And boom, 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 the front lats spread with a bit of a outer quad pose. And yeah, man, even though his gut was a little distended, I feel like people did over exaggerate. You know, this physique, bro, still looked sick. It's just there was no equal symmetry with the arms. The other arm was bigger because I guess it was jerking off. But yeah, man, bro, this is still impressive in the waist, man. I know, yeah, he had a bubble gut, a tall tricep, but Dorian Yates is still the mass monster. And we have Lee Priest, the blonde myth, the short 4'4", the short 4'5" guy. Yeah, man, this guy's arms are still arguably, not even arguably, like 100% the best arms in bodybuilding history, I think. Yeah, I think the best, you know. Sick as fuck, man. And boom, the relaxed, man, we can just look at that, bro. Completely saggy, bro, watery, man. And look at that cut, man. It is just not meant for Nasser. And then you get the guy crying in the back. It was not meant for Nasser to win this, man. They saw that, you know, you wouldn't be the right face off. You wouldn't be the guy to pave the way. Because if Nasser won the Olympia, you know, bodybuilding would have taken a different route today. So everything happens for a reason also. So yeah, boom, the three goats. And we have Mr. Dorian Yates, pregnant to the bone, Chris Cormier and young Ronnie Coleman. Apparently they said it was natural at this time. I don't believe this. iPhone problems. Yeah, OG class. And boom, we have the Dorian Yates YATES and the bag. Oh, the bag is still amazing. Yeah, man. Honestly, man, I don't think there was anything crazy wrong with Dorian Yates' physique. He just looked sloppy and not confident. That's why his physique, you know, popped off more. But yeah, man, I think that's all, you know. That is all. Yeah.
We were in Hawaii together, and you know, Nasser was the kind of guy that he would be like, "Oh, Dave, you look very good. Yes." And I would go to the bathroom, and if I was hanging out with some girl, he would like try to, you know, give him his room key, and he'd be like, "Oh, I am Nasser Sonbaty, and I don't know why you're with that guy. I speak 8 languages, and you know, he is a drug monster, and you know, and Nasser would do anything to try to put the kibosh on you so he can move in on whatever, you know, woman you were hanging out with at the time." But you know, I knew who Nasser was. I didn't care about it. I accepted him for who he was. I thought he was a great bodybuilder. He was very smart. He was funny, you know. But unfortunately, when he stopped competing, he became very bitter with the sport. And I don't know if he felt like he should have been able to go longer or what the case was. I mean, the guy won the Arnold Classic. He should have won the 1997 Mr. Olympia. He easily beat Dorian Yates, and Dorian got the win for his number 6. And I think Nasser was really never the same after that. He looked great in the 98 Olympia when Ronnie and was first and won his first Olympia, and then Flex was second. He was third, Nasser, and he looked great there too. But he just couldn't beat these genetic freaks. It was an era of, like, you know, shape, symmetry, and size, and that was just too much for Nasser. Nasser always, you know, people criticized his back, but you know, I remember the Nasser that I had a great time with when he was in the midst of competing and he felt good about himself. Unfortunately, like I said, after his career was over, he kind of deteriorated. He started bad-mouthing the sport. He even bad-mouthed me and Greg Kovacs, who were really good friends of his, or at least we thought we were. And, you know, eventually he succumbed to, I believe, kidney disease. And he's no longer with us, so may he rest in peace. You know, I hope he's watching down, laughing over there, because we did have some good times together. And I got to be honest with you, I never ever laughed as much as when I was with Nasser. He just had that. He had a very wry sense of humor. He knew exactly how to find people's weaknesses. I mean, he's the only guy who could make fun of Dorian Yates. He used to call him Backzilla because he felt that he only had a back and he had no other body parts.
Did you want to ask him a couple of other questions, like who his hero is?
What package do you need to show the judges that will beat everyone else?
She can't answer this.
No? Okay.
Then that's okay. We'll give you another one. Who's your hero in bodybuilding? Who do you admire the most?
I don't admire anyone.
So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you subscribe, turn on post notification, and check the 2 videos above which go in detail of the 2 bodybuilders, Nasser and Dorian. Peace.
Great music in the background.